Hi, it's Linda Ather-Kastner, Program Chairs for 4Cs 2016. Now that proposal notifications have been distributed, I've had some questions from folks about the proposal acceptance rate and about the process for reviewing and sending out those proposal notifications. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Shortly, I'll show you an infographic that runs you through the proposal notification process. First, though, I want to tell you that 47.6% of the proposals submitted to 4Cs 2016 were accepted. Of those, there are 600 total sessions on the program. 437 panels and roundtable proposals were accepted. 53 poster proposals were accepted. And 459 proposals for individual presentations were accepted and merged into 150 or so different panel or roundtable sessions. The additional sessions that aren't included in this number include sessions submitted by standing groups. Those are guaranteed to be accepted on the program, and then workshops and things like that. So that's the total number of sessions that were accepted that comprise the 4Cs 2016 conference program. Now, to talk about the process by which proposals are reviewed and those proposal notifications are distributed, I'm going to talk you through an infographic. I'm now going to talk you through an infographic that describes the long journey of your 4Cs proposal. Of course, it begins when you have an idea. And ideally, you've looked at the call for proposals written by the next year's 4Cs conference chair when you think of that idea. You then draft a proposal for a panel, roundtable, poster, or individual presentation. And it's those presentations I'm going to focus on as I review the proposal review process for 4Cs 2016. The process is the same for workshops, but here I'm just going to talk about the so-called speaking role sessions. You then upload that proposal, at least you have right now, to a proposal site located at the University of Oregon. So for the past several years, NCTE and therefore 4Cs have contracted with this convention review site at University of Oregon. While that's going on, the 4Cs conference chair is recruiting volunteers to review panel proposal and roundtable proposals submitted to that Oregon system. This is what we refer to as Stage 1 proposal review. Stage 1 reviewers are recruited by the conference chair. When they're recruited, they indicate what proposal clusters they're most comfortable reviewing in. So an NCTE staff member, that is the 4Cs convention director, just one staff member, enters the names of those Stage 1 reviewers into the Oregon database, and after the proposal deadline, proposals are distributed by cluster to the reviewers, who then read and rate them using the criteria listed at the end of the 4Cs 2016 call for proposals. Meanwhile, the 4Cs convention chair is working on Stage 2 review and recruiting reviewers for Stage 2. Stage 2 is a much smaller group of people, usually between 12 and 14 people, who travel to NCTE headquarters. They might fly, they might drive, depending on where they're coming from. At Stage 2 review, those reviewers look at individual proposals for 4Cs, as well as at special proposals that have come in. So individual review, you are probably aware, means that we have to take each individual proposal submitted and then combine those into panel. It means, for example, if we have 5 great proposals in cluster 3, we know we can't have a 5-person panel. So we need to put together a panel with 3 of those, think about what's going to happen to the 2 other proposals, and so on. Also at NCTE, the convention director and the 4Cs chair have worked together to look at how many proposals have come in each cluster. So what percentage of the total number of proposals submitted came in cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, and so on. We then accept the number of presentations and proposals in each cluster that were submitted. So if I'm making up this number, 22% of the proposals came in cluster 2, that means that about 22% of the conference program will be constituted of proposals from cluster 2. So then, after Stage 1 and Stage 2 proposal review have been completed, the 4Cs conference chair and the NCTE 4Cs convention director work together to build a program with the accepted sessions that fits into the number of spaces that are available and the number of sessions that have been accepted. That all takes through about the full summer. And that means that by August or September or so, the 4Cs chair writes notification emails to folks, then works with NCTE convention staff to coordinate a release date. We can't have all kinds of mail from NCTE coming out at the same time. Things would get lost. The emails are sent for distribution back to the University of Oregon, since they have the database. And then finally, they are sent from that database review system to you. And that is the long journey of your 4Cs proposal. So I hope this video helps give you a better sense of what happens between the time that you have that idea and upload your proposal to the proposal review system, and you get an email at the end of the summer telling you about the disposition of that proposal. I look forward to seeing everybody at 4Cs 2016. I think it's going to be a great, great conference in Houston.